All right, I'm back with another review. This is for The Real Housewives Beverly Hills Season 13, Reunion Part 1. This reunion seemed to be, this first part was focused a lot on Dorit for good reasoning, because she be doing too much and my hair is crooked. Anyway, so before the reunion even begins, when they're all in their trailers getting ready, Erica Jane goes over to Dorit's trailer, and Dorit reveals this like super long text message that Kyle sent her, basically about their friendship and how she wants to sit down and talk to her after the reunion, and basically low key, inadvertently, kind of asking her not to bring up the situation with Morgan and all this stuff. She said it felt manipulative and calculated. I have to agree. I agree, because you had all that time to talk to her, but then you wait till the day before the reunion when you know you all are going to sit down and rehash all this nonsense. Dorit, Dorit, girl. So we finally get to the reunion. Out the gate, we start with Kyle and Dorit for a little bit, and they do talk about the text message. Dorit expresses how she felt. Kyle, of course, doesn't take responsibility. Kyle, we know what you were doing. Kyle, I love you, but I know what you were doing, and I feel like others do too. So we go over Garcelle, her whole season with her sons, her acting career, and the meat and potatoes, which was the situation with her and Dorit, and the saying that she feels attacked. Here's my problem with Dorit. Dorit doesn't own any of the stuff that she says. She does in the moment, and then will say stuff like, I want to be corrected, let me know if I'm messing up. But then when you do call her out on her bullshit, she somehow flips it, deflects, gets very defensive, or she'll bring up a situation where she herself was a victim in the situation and then try to relate that to what said person is calling her out about. She got to work on that. Her doing that whole post, I'm living in my bubble, and then tried to say that she was just trying to be funny, and then that it was relating to her family. No, it wasn't. You didn't like that you were called out on your behavior. Here's the reality. Dorit, you're privileged, and you're a bit of an elitist. And you do have Karen-like behavior, and we do live in 2024, woke, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But the reality is, you live with privilege, darling, and you're a white woman in America. You're white. You're a white lady. You live in Beverly Hills. You gotta learn the trigger. You gotta get with the program, honey bunny. Listen, it sucks. I low-key sometimes feel bad for white people. It's not that I feel bad for white people, but I understand that y'all can't live in your ignorance is bliss type shit anymore. You can't. You can't get away with certain shit. I've been black my entire life and have had to deal with bullshit every single day on planet Earth. You should see some of the comments I get under these videos. God forbid. It's crazy. And I get everybody together. So Dorit, come on. She always plays the victim, which I really hate. She always has to relate something to something else. It can never just be like, you know what? I'm sorry. I was wrong. I own it. She doesn't do that. Kyle doesn't do that either. But it is what it is. This is reality television. Most of these housewife ladies don't take accountability. But she herself said in Spain that if she's doing something wrong or says something wrong, to please let her know. So remember that you said that, Dorit. Remember that you said that, because that's going to happen to you every single time. So maybe you need to start being more cognizant of how you speak. Because I think the problem is people have been disrespectful and ridiculous for a long time and have gotten away with it. And they just can't anymore. And unfortunately, it's a lot of white people that do that shit. I mean, black people, other cultures, we all do it. But here in America, that bullshit don't fly no more. Listen, at the end of the day, it is what it is. That's the nature of the beast now. You know what I mean? If you say something derogatory about somebody gay or somebody with a disability or a body image issue, you're going to get called out on it. We live in an era now where disrespect is not going to be tolerated. It's just not. Neither is gaslighting. None of that shit is. So you got to get with the program, Dorit. I took notes, so that's why I keep looking over here, because I make sure I don't want to miss anything. Anne Marie interrupts them to basically talk about how Sutton said that she was yelling at her when she called out Sutton in the whole esophagus thing. Anne Marie, you were right. Bad timing, though. Bad timing. You were right, but bad timing. Um, Another thing I do want to point out about Garcelle. Garcelle said that she didn't like watching Dorit, PK, Kyle, and Mauricio kind of laugh at the situation with her son when Erica cursed at him. I think it was last season or the season before. What's funny is when Bravo replayed the clip back, it was Kyle and Mauricio that were doing all the talking. I didn't see Dorit or PK say anything. Maybe they did later on in the scene because it was only a clip. But I just thought it was weird that she only said something to Dorit. I could be wrong. Maybe she did. I don't remember. But I was like, Kyle was the one that was laughing about the shit and thought it was funny. So she should be dragged too. But okay. The other, so we get to Anne Marie's package. We get to her and her husband, and then we get to the whole esophagus stuff. And Anne Marie, whatever your name is, both of y'all, I don't feel sorry for you. You brought all that shit on yourself. You decided to insert yourself in a conversation, inquire about Sutton's health, and then decided to put your own spin on it, and then got called out online and on the show. And Crystal, who's completely come out of her shell, called her out big time and actually called her a bitch. So Anna Marie, I think that you need to own that. You came hard. She did. She apologized. She knew she was doing too much. Let's keep it real. It's her first season on a hit reality show. She's trying to solidify that second season spot. I get it. It's a job. You're trying to have a reality TV moment. It backfired in your face, unfortunately. It just did. I still don't like you, and I don't think you should be back second season. I don't think she's a good fit for these ladies. I think she went too hard. And I'll be honest, her voice is annoying. She comes off condescending, and ain't nobody got time for all that. And I'm sorry to hear about her mother passing. That was really sad. Which to me kind of explained her temperament a little bit at the reunion, because she was not trying to argue with these ladies. She kept saying, I'm not going to go back and forth. I'm not going to argue. And I'm thinking, this is the time to go back and forth. This is the time to argue. But her light was a little dimmed, and I get it. I understand. So my condolences to her. Like, for real, for real. We get to Crystal. What's sad about Crystal is she expressed something to her husband when they were running the package back about how, she's bulimic or anorexic, bulimic. I don't know if she's both or one, but she struggles with it. And she said it's hard seeing all the ladies lose weight and be skinny, and that's all that she thinks about. I can't identify with that because I'm a big bitch, but I understand, like, wanting to be like everybody else and kind of constantly comparing yourselves. We as human beings, especially women, we do stuff like that. So I kind of felt bad for her in that instant. Then, they get into it with her and Anna Marie. I'm sorry, Crystal, but what Anna Marie revealed in Spain at that dinner about what you said about the other ladies, I 1000% you believe that you said that. There's evidence from season 1 up until current season of you talking about the ladies' education and all that. So I think she should own that. I'd have been like, yeah, I said that shit. I was mad at him. I don't believe it now because I got to know these ladies. Even Kyle was like, I believe that you said it, but whatever. So then Crystal calls out Dorit on the child bride comment, which I'm not going to lie, I did laugh at that comment, and I even definitely joked about it in my other review. And for that, I do apologize because she explained why that comment was so offensive. She said in the Asian community, to call someone a child bride is implying that they're like a mail order bride. And she clarified, she's like, I wasn't 12 when I married Rob. I was 24. I had already graduated from college, and she had already helped build $1 million company, which I guess is coconut water. I didn't know that. So kudos to you, girl. That's awesome. Dorit, more or less owned it, but Dorit definitely has grown up in a bubble. She lives in a bubble, absolutely. And she makes these off the cuff comments, and your ass gonna get tagged every time for it. I was glad that Crystal stood up for herself and checked her on that, because that was offensive and it wasn't okay. And it is what it is. Kyle and Dorit, we get to Kyle's package, her and her marriage, we get to all that. Here's my take on that. I think Kyle started to pull away from Dorit because she just stopped fucking with her like that. It happens. I think Dorit was a little jealous of the relationship or situationship between Kyle and Morgan Wade. That seemed apparent. And she seemed the most bothered by like their interactions. I get it. I've been jealous of like really good girlfriends being friends with other friends. It happens sometimes. You know, you get a little territorial with your friendships. But I do agree with Kyle though when she said I feel like Dorit is not genuine and she does things, you know, based on public opinion. I mean, Dorit's whole relationship with Kathy Hilton is weird. That's not even your homie like that. I don't like Kathy Hilton. I used to like her. I don't like her. That lady got a nasty, mean spirit about her. And I really hope they don't bring her back next season. Especially after watching that Paris Hilton documentary. Like, bitch, you sent your daughter where? And that happened to her what? No. That was a reunion. Part 1 was good. It was definitely about Dorit. Part 2 is going to be great. I do like these group of ladies. I don't think Anna Marie should come back. I feel like they don't need to add anybody else either. Like, leave the group that they have right now and see how that rolls. Or if you're going to add somebody, like, add somebody who's, like, popping. You know? I don't know. Anyway, till part 2.